Rapscallion's Fizzy Bubbly 101, episode 3. Let's be honest, we all know that excess CO2 is bad for the planet. But in soft drinks, it's been a necessary evil since almost the 18th century, and it's not going to go anywhere quickly. What sort of fizzy drink manufacturer would we be if we actually had no fizz? When we were actually designing our facility and we ourselves went from kitchen sink to commercial supply, there was a lot of external factors that we had to factor in to the world of carbonation and how we were going to grow a fizzy drink business. Fast forward to 2022, where we fully rebuilt our innovation facility to really handle the modern challenges that the world was throwing at us. We really engineered it for speed, efficiency, and ultimately to run fossil-free. We had to keep up with our competitors who had sterile, shelf-stable products before they'd even diluted it. We're chuffed to say that we now redirect and utilize captured CO2 already in the atmosphere via a specific secret supplier. We capture it, give it a good home. We now generate our own nitrogen on-site, powered by renewable energy. This ultimately removes a reliance on food-grade CO2 if these shortages were ever to come around again. So not only is this machine generating nitrogen and stripping it from atmospheric air, we can actually utilize that nitrogen in place of CO2. This ain't easy what we're up to, but I'm sure you guys can appreciate it when you crack a can, you really smell our ingredients in there. So, carbonation in context. We actually use carbonation in combination with nitrogen that we're generating ourselves on site. Does that mean that sometimes our cans are a little bit softer than you might expect? Absolutely. Does it mean that we're carrying far more of that raw flavor? Absolutely. And ultimately, does it make the flavor sing? We definitely think so, but let us know in the comments. We've talked about the what, the why, the where, and the how. But actually, how do we apply some of the principles that we touched on in episode 2 to our day-to-day operations, especially under the knowledge that we actually handle with an inconsistent seasonal base? If we do not listen to our principles, the last thing we'd ever want is a rubbish can hitting your lips. We are not here to preach, even though sustainability is a core directive of our little company. So by design, our fresh, raw ingredients don't always react the way that you need them to. We use a couple of little tips and tricks, and we're always testing and evaluating our liquid. Again, if you go back to episode 2, this helps us in the vessel stage. This makes sure that our cans are nice and consistent with ultimately quite an inconsistent base. I'm sure you can agree that carbonation maybe isn't as simple as you've been told on the internet. That's why we've tried to really break it down and help you understand why our bubbles react a little bit differently. Hopefully we save you a couple of explosive years like we had as well. See you later, alligator and a wild crocodile.